Theme parks rely on people having a little extra cash so they can take their families out for a good time. In order to attract a large crowd of people, they usually need to have some kind of state-of-the-art roller coaster and some amusing attractions. Sometimes the theme parks get demolished because they're sitting on expensive land and new condos will replace them. From theme parks that went abandoned due to natural disasters to theme parks that closed down due to radiation. Here are abandoned theme parks. Hey guys, how's it going? I'm your host, American Eye, bringing to you another creepy, possibly haunted video. But first, in our alien species video, we asked you guys which alien you would take home as your friend during the Area 51 raid, and today we're going to feature David Reeves. He's going to snatch himself a Nordic woman alien. Just be careful of her telepathic abilities. Stay tuned for today's question, and maybe we'll feature you in an upcoming video. Number 10. Ho Thu Tien. Possibly one of the creepiest abandoned water parks in the world, this water park is known for the large abandoned dragon here, which is seemingly eroding away with the elements as time goes by. The water park is found in a small natural lake complex only about 8 kilometers away from the city center of Hue. There were all sorts of various attractions here that would have been certainly amusing, but now it's slowly eroding away, consumed by Mother Earth and Vietnamese teenagers with spray paint bottles. It's noted that a lot of unsupervised kids might be on the premises here. A lot of people wonder why it's actually abandoned though. The park cost millions of dollars to build, but it abruptly shut down operations. It's possible that the communist government here didn't want people to have too much fun and close it down. It's still open, but you won't get into the water slides because who knows what kind of jungle animals might still be living in those things. Number 9. Wild Waters. And next, we have another abandoned water park located in the Silver Springs area of Florida, which might be closed, but was still apparently open for some urban explorers. The park first opened up in 1978, which attracted tourists to the area as well as locals for a traditional water park experience. It was home to many picnic areas, snack bars, restaurants, volleyball courts, and gift shops. It was one of the first water parks to ever feature fiberglass slides, which eventually became the standard material. This photo here shows a ride known as the Alligator Ambush, which was constructed in 2009. This slide was actually like a funnel that expels riders into a bowl. Eventually, it was suddenly declared that it would shut down in 2016 after 38 years of being open. In 2008, it was mostly demolished, but it appears as though you can still see some slides that still remain as you take a look on Google Maps. Number 8. Hong Kong Disneyland. This one isn't abandoned just yet, but if the Communist Party seized control of Hong Kong, you better believe that this place will get transformed to some kind of political prison or just go abandoned. In any case, this theme park is certainly one of the least visited Disneylands across the globe, and many would claim it's just a complete failure. It's the smallest Disney resort, but people who built it expected much higher attendance. It was very close to going abandoned too. It seemed like that after the park's attendance continued to shrink since its opening year in 2005. People began panicking in 2007 when the park only had 4.1 million visitors. To put that into perspective, 18.6 million visitors went to Disneyland in Anaheim in 2018. Disneyland Tokyo receives about 17 million per year, so it's easy to see how Hong Kong was a big disappointment. Number 7. Yangon Theme Park. Located in Yangon, Myanmar, the former capital of Myanmar, was the amusement park known as Yangon Park. It seemed like there were plenty of things for people to enjoy here when it first opened in 1997. Considered to be a good distraction for the people of the country, it was meant to divert attention from the atrocities that were occurring in the country with plenty of modern attractions. In any case, it went abandoned and it's making our list today. It's apparently still there and hasn't been demolished just yet. One of the main concerns for urban explorers here are the mosquitoes, which have been known to be quite merciless. There are also snakes and stray dogs that can roam the premises, so you might want to avoid coming here unless you're up for the challenge. It can also only be accessed by the nearby zoological park that's still open, but you'll have to get past the animals first. Make sure you don't get caught. It's also hard to tell exactly where it is because trees cover up a lot of the aerial views on Google Maps. Number 6. The American Adventure. Isn't it great how countries want to get an American experience to the point where that they actually build an entire theme park dedicated to our American greatness? Maybe think twice about it. The American Adventure was opened up in Derbyshire in England and was said to be a pretty cool place. The site opened up in 1985, but luck didn't appear to be on the owner's side from the get-go. The founder, Peter Kellard, was arrested and imprisoned for fraud just a year later, and it was sold off to another company. Some of the American rides featured here include a log ride, a runaway mine train, the Buffalo Stampede roller coaster, a pirate ship, and a Ferris wheel, to name a few. Some problems with the land it was built on caused some of the smaller attractions to shut down, which turned out to be a bigger bummer than they expected. All the way up until the last year it was in operation, there had been plans to open up new rides. Then unexpectedly, in 2006, the park had shut down. Number 5. Sofia Land. This abandoned amusement park is located in the capital city of Bulgaria, Sofia. It was once one of the largest amusement parks in southeastern Europe. It's located near the Sophia Zoo, and construction began in 2001. The park opened up the next year, and everyone thought it would work out just fine. It featured a little bit for everyone. 4 extreme rides for the older kids, 8 rides for the children, and 11 all-age attractions were featured here. Don't forget about the plethora of bars, restaurants, coffee houses, clubs, and a bowling alley. There were plans to eventually change the park, but only 5 years later, they unexpectedly closed down the access to the park. This photo here shows the front gates, which resemble a castle, and now they're closed for anyone trying to get in. Number 4. Six Flags New Orleans. Roller coasters are all fun and games until Hurricane Katrina comes knocking at your door. Mother Nature released her fury on the Big Easy, and one of the biggest victims was Six Flags New Orleans. This is one of the creepiest abandoned amusement parks with plenty of roller coasters that are 100% abandoned to this day. When Hurricane Katrina flooded the park, everything was too damaged to repair, and it was just easy to let it rot. There have been plenty of attempts to rebuild the park, all of which have completely failed. Trespassers who are looking to get some creepy urban photos are prosecuted, and cameras are set up on the property. Maybe because they don't want you to find the ghosts here. There's just something flat out creepy about a place that's meant to be fun becoming victim of urban decay, as you can tell from this roller coaster ride. There were a few different accidents and tragedies at this theme park well before it was hit by a hurricane, so it certainly has some potential to be haunted. But if anything, the ghost of Hurricane Katrina certainly will still haunt all the attractions here, and no one will be getting on the roller coasters anytime soon. Number 3. Matatsmira. Located near the capital city of Tbilisi is a famous amusement park that was once full of carousels, water slides, roller coasters, and a big Ferris wheel that gave onlookers a great view of the city. The park is situated at a high point of elevation for the area, but it reached a serious low point when the whole thing became abandoned. Built by the Soviet Union as a place that was supposed to be fun, it was the 3rd most visited park in all the Union. But as we all know, great things don't last forever, and in this video, you can probably already guess what happened. Political instabilities in the area, and the wealthy Russian person who owned the park disagreed with the new president of the region. Refusal to pay certain taxes by the Russian oligarch or other claims by the Georgian government eventually led to its abandonment. Here we see a creepy abandoned troll or gnome statue, and he seems kinda sad because he knows that there's gonna be no more people. It's a strange sight to see an amusement park completely frozen in time. Number 2. Salt Air 3. Located in Salt Lake, Utah, there were once several resorts along the banks of the water about 15 miles away from the city. The first resort was known as Salt Air 1 that we see in this photo. It was associated with the Mormons who constructed it. Even a railway was built so tourists and resort workers could get there easily. It was meant to be a family place where parents could bring their kids and rejuvenate. The people who created it wanted to be more of like a western version of Coney Island. The Latter-day Saints sold the property in 1906. Another notable Salt Air resort opened up in 1981 and was constructed out of a salvaged U.S. Air Force hangar. Eventually, the salt lake that it was built next to was responsible for flooding, and it's still here to this day. Alright, so before we get to our number 1, creepiest abandoned theme park, we'd like to hear from you guys what roller coaster or water slide scared you the most as a kid. Mine was a Liquidator at Wild Rivers in Irvine, California, but they tore that down to make room for condos. Leave us your answer and maybe we'll feature you in an upcoming video. Number 1. Chernobyl Amusement Park. You probably don't want to bring your kid to play on this swing set or take a ride on this Ferris wheel anytime soon. Pripyat had many facilities that the families of the power plant workers could enjoy, but they never had the chance to enjoy this amusement park. It was set to open up on May 1st, 1986, just weeks after the meltdown took place. The radiation levels here vary, and it's believed that the helicopters carrying radioactive material used this place as a landing strip. This photo here displays the grim remains of the bumper cars that would have brought much joy to the children of the city. Now they're just left to rust within the Chernobyl exclusion zone, gather dust, and erode away from the elements. Possibly the most iconic image of the Chernobyl exclusion zone would be the Ferris wheel. So what did you guys think of that video? Be sure to leave us a comment and let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section.